R.I.P. Captain Elizabeth Helen Godwin, the lifeguards. From the very beginning, Elizabeth showed signs of being different from other children her age. She was curious, always asking questions, and eager to learn about the world around her. She had a bright mind and an inquisitive heart, the kind that noticed the small details others often overlooked. Her parents often said that Elizabeth had a spark inside her, a spark that would one day guide her to do something extraordinary. Growing up, Elizabeth loved to explore. She would spend hours reading about people who made a difference, from great leaders to everyday heroes. She was fascinated by stories of courage and kindness, and she wanted, even as a child, to live a life that mattered. School was not just a place to her, it was an adventure. She excelled in her studies, not because she wanted to outshine others, but because she genuinely loved learning. Mathematics, history, and literature became her favorite subjects, each teaching her something new about the world and herself. Her teachers quickly noticed her dedication and often encouraged her to aim higher than she thought possible. But Elizabeth's brilliance was not limited to the classroom. She was also known for her compassion. Whenever she saw someone in need, a classmate struggling with lessons, a friend having a bad day, or even a neighbor needing help, she was always there to lend a hand. Her empathy and willingness to support others became a defining feature of her personality. She learned early on that helping others was not just a duty, but a source of true happiness. These experiences shaped her young heart and taught her the value of responsibility, kindness, and leadership. Elizabeth's family played a vital role in nurturing her character. Her parents often shared stories about their own experiences, emphasizing honesty, integrity, and courage. They encouraged her to think independently and make decisions for herself, while also reminding her that true strength came from being humble and considerate. Her home was filled with books, conversations, and the kind of warmth that allowed her to dream without fear. Family dinners were not just meals. They were opportunities to discuss ideas, share experiences, and learn from one another. Elizabeth loved these moments, and they helped her understand the importance of community, teamwork, and loyalty. Outside the home, Elizabeth was naturally adventurous. She loved sports, outdoor activities, and challenges that pushed her limits. Running through fields, climbing trees, and participating in school sports taught her resilience and determination. She was not the fastest or the strongest at first, but she never gave up. Every setback became a lesson, and every victory, no matter how small, fueled her confidence. Her friends admired her perseverance and often turned to her for support during their own challenges. Elizabeth's leadership qualities were becoming evident even at this young age, as she inspired others not by words alone but by her actions. Despite her busy school life and active social life, Elizabeth always made time for reflection. She would often sit quietly with a notebook, jotting down her thoughts, dreams, and questions about life. These moments of introspection helped her understand herself better and guided her decisions. She was beginning to realize that life was not just about success or recognition, but about making a meaningful difference in the lives of others. This understanding, though simple, would become a guiding principle in her later years. One of the most important lessons Elizabeth learned during her early life was the value of discipline. Her parents and teachers encouraged her to develop routines and habits that would prepare her for future responsibilities. She learned to balance her studies, extracurricular activities, and personal growth, understanding that discipline was not about restriction, but about creating freedom through structure. Over time, she became known for her reliability. When she committed to something, whether a school project or helping a friend, people could count on her. This trust and dependability became part of her identity, shaping the person she was growing to be. Elizabeth also had a deep appreciation for nature and the world around her. She would spend hours observing the sky, the trees, and the changing seasons, finding beauty and lessons in everything. Nature taught her patience, resilience, and adaptability, the understanding that life moves forward, sometimes slowly, sometimes unpredictably, and that one must learn to flow with it. These quiet moments in nature also became a source of creativity and inspiration. She began to see challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities to grow stronger and wiser. Friendships were another important aspect of Elizabeth's early life. She valued her friends deeply and was always there to offer support, advice, or simply a listening ear. Her ability to empathize with others, to celebrate their successes, and to help them through difficulties earned her respect and admiration. People were drawn to her not only because of her intelligence and energy, but also because of her warmth and sincerity. She had a way of making others feel valued, seen, and understood, which would later become an essential quality in her leadership and service. Elizabeth's early life was also shaped by her exposure to stories of bravery, service, and leadership. She admired individuals who dedicated themselves to causes greater than themselves, and she wanted to follow in their footsteps. This admiration inspired her first thoughts about a career in service, imagining herself as someone who could make a difference on a larger scale. The idea of joining the military, serving her country, and leading others began to take root in her mind. It was not a desire born out of seeking glory, but out of a sincere wish to contribute, protect, and lead with integrity. As she grew older, Elizabeth faced challenges that tested her resilience and determination. School pressures, personal disappointments, and the natural ups and downs of adolescence taught her important lessons about patience, perseverance, and self-belief. Each challenge strengthened her character, reinforcing the values her family and mentors had instilled in her. She learned to approach difficulties with a calm mind, thoughtful planning, and unwavering courage. These experiences, though sometimes difficult, were crucial in shaping her future path. By the time she reached her late teens, Elizabeth had become a remarkable young woman. She possessed a unique combination of intelligence, empathy, courage, and discipline. Her achievements in academics, sports, and community service reflected her dedication, while her personal qualities, kindness, integrity, and resilience earned her admiration from everyone around her. People began to see her not just as a talented student, but as a future leader, someone who could inspire and guide others with both her actions and words. Elizabeth's early years, full of learning, growth, and discovery, laid the foundation for her life ahead. Every lesson, every experience, and every relationship contributed to the person she was becoming. Her curiosity fueled her intelligence, her compassion shaped her character, and her courage prepared her for the challenges that lay ahead. Though her journey had only just begun, it was clear that Elizabeth Helen Godwin was destined to live a life of purpose, honor, and meaningful contribution. Her story reminds us that greatness often begins quietly, in the small moments of childhood curiosity, kindness, and determination. Elizabeth's early life was a tapestry of learning, exploring, and growing, threads that would later form the fabric of a life defined by courage, service, and lasting impact. As Elizabeth Helen Godwin grew older, the ideas she had carried in her heart since childhood began to take shape into a concrete plan. She had always admired people who served their communities and their country, but now, as a young adult, she felt a strong calling to take that admiration into action. The thought of joining the Life Guards, one of the most respected and prestigious regiments, became the focus of her dreams. She was drawn not by fame or recognition, but by the opportunity to serve with honor, to be part of a tradition of courage, and to challenge herself in ways that would test both her mind and her spirit. Her decision to pursue a military career was not sudden. It was the result of careful thought and deep reflection. Elizabeth considered the responsibilities she would have, the sacrifices she would make, and the discipline she would need to embrace. She knew it would be difficult, demanding, and at times even frightening, but she also knew that this was the path she was meant to follow. The values she had developed in her early life, honesty, courage, empathy, and perseverance, were the exact qualities that she believed would help her succeed in the Life Guards. She shared her decision with her family, who supported her wholeheartedly, understanding that this was more than a career choice. It was a calling. The first step toward joining the Life Guards was the selection process, which was known for being extremely rigorous. Elizabeth prepared herself carefully, studying not only the physical requirements, but also the mental and emotional challenges she would face. She engaged in intense physical training, running long distances, strengthening her endurance, and practicing drills that would test her strength and coordination. At the same time, she refined her knowledge of history, strategy, and leadership principles, understanding that a soldier's mind must be as disciplined as the body. Her determination and focus became the defining features of her preparation. When the day of selection finally arrived, Elizabeth faced the challenges with a mixture of excitement and determination. The process tested every aspect of her being, from physical endurance to mental acuity. She pushed herself harder than she ever had, refusing to let fatigue or doubt slow her down. Every obstacle became a lesson, every challenge an opportunity to prove her resilience. She drew strength from the values instilled in her since childhood, from the support of her family, and from the belief that she was pursuing a path of purpose and service. When she successfully passed the selection, it was not just a personal triumph. It was a confirmation that her dedication and hard work had paid off, and that she was ready to take her place among the lifeguards. Training in the lifeguards was demanding in ways Elizabeth had never experienced before. The days were long, the routines strict, and the expectations high. Every soldier was expected to demonstrate discipline, precision, and unwavering commitment to their duties. Elizabeth embraced the challenges, knowing that each task, no matter how small or difficult, was a step toward becoming the officer she aspired to be. She learned to master drills, ceremonial duties, and tactical maneuvers, understanding that excellence in every detail was essential. The training tested her physically, mentally, and emotionally, but it also shaped her into a confident and capable leader. One of the most important lessons Elizabeth learned during training was the value of teamwork. In the lifeguards, no soldier could succeed alone. Every action depended on the support, coordination, and trust of the entire unit. Elizabeth quickly realized that her ability to lead would be measured not only by her skills, but also by her ability to inspire and support those around her. She took every opportunity to help her peers, whether by offering encouragement, sharing knowledge, or leading by example. Her willingness to support others and her natural empathy earned her respect and trust, qualities that would later define her leadership style. Elizabeth also encountered moments of doubt and difficulty during training. The physical demands were intense, and the mental pressure could be overwhelming at times. She faced early mornings, long marches, and exercises that pushed her limits. There were days when exhaustion and frustration threatened to take hold, but Elizabeth never allowed herself to give up. She learned to rely on discipline, focus, and the strength of her convictions to overcome challenges. These moments of struggle became opportunities for growth, teaching her resilience, patience, and the importance of maintaining a positive mindset under pressure. Throughout her training, Elizabeth developed a deep understanding of the responsibilities that came with being an officer in the lifeguards. She learned that leadership was not about authority or power, but about service, integrity, and the ability to guide others with respect and compassion. She observed experienced officers and mentors, noting how they balanced discipline with empathy, authority with encouragement, and strategy with care for their soldiers. Elizabeth absorbed these lessons, internalizing them as part of her own approach to leadership. She realized that being a successful officer would require constant self-improvement, humility, and dedication to the welfare of others. Elizabeth's early experiences in the lifeguards also deepened her sense of purpose. She saw firsthand the importance of duty, discipline, and courage. Every drill, every exercise, and every interaction reinforced her commitment to serve with honor and integrity. She began to understand that the lifeguards were more than a regiment. They were a community of individuals united by shared values, mutual respect, and a commitment to excellence. Being part of this community gave Elizabeth a sense of belonging and inspired her to strive even harder to meet the high standards expected of her. Outside of formal training, Elizabeth took time to build relationships with her fellow soldiers. She understood that camaraderie was essential in a military environment, not only for morale but also for survival and success. She listened to their experiences, shared her own, and offered support whenever it was needed. Her kindness, patience, and genuine interest in others helped her forge strong bonds, creating a network of trust and loyalty that would be invaluable in her future service. These friendships also reminded her that courage and strength were not only demonstrated through physical skill, but through empathy, understanding, and the willingness to stand by others in difficult times. Elizabeth's dedication and hard work did not go unnoticed. Instructors and senior officers recognized her discipline, intelligence, and leadership potential. She was often given responsibilities beyond those of her peers, allowing her to demonstrate her ability to handle complex tasks and make sound decisions under pressure. These opportunities strengthened her confidence and reinforced her belief in her own abilities. They also taught her humility, as she learned to balance ambition with teamwork, personal achievement with the success of the unit, and determination with respect for others. Through every challenge, Elizabeth remained focused on her ultimate goal: to serve with honor, lead with integrity, and make a meaningful difference. She understood that her journey was not just about personal success, but about contributing to a larger purpose. Her early days in the lifeguards taught her that courage was not simply the absence of fear, but the ability to act decisively and ethically in the face of uncertainty. It was about taking responsibility, remaining steadfast in difficult situations, and inspiring others to do the same. As Elizabeth's training progressed, she began to experience moments of pride and achievement that made all the effort worthwhile. Successfully completing difficult exercises, earning the trust of her peers, and meeting the high expectations of her instructors reinforced her belief in the path she had chosen. She realized that her early preparation, her dedication, and her perseverance had equipped her to meet the demands of military life. Every success, no matter how small, strengthened her resolve and reaffirmed her commitment to the lifeguards. By the end of her initial training, Elizabeth Helen Godwin had transformed from a determined young woman into a capable and confident officer. She had faced physical, mental, and emotional challenges and had emerged stronger, wiser, and more resilient. She had learned the importance of discipline, teamwork, empathy, and leadership, and had developed a deep appreciation for the responsibilities that came with serving in the lifeguards. More importantly, she had strengthened her sense of purpose, understanding that her role was not just a job, but a commitment to serve with honor and make a positive impact on the lives of those around her. Elizabeth's early experiences in the lifeguards set the stage for the next phase of her journey. They taught her lessons that would shape her career, guide her decisions, and define her leadership style. They also reinforced the values that had guided her since childhood: courage, compassion, integrity, and dedication. As she looked ahead, Elizabeth felt a deep sense of pride and readiness, knowing that she had taken the first steps toward a life of service, responsibility, and meaningful contribution. Her story during this time reminds us that true achievement is not about talent alone, but about preparation, perseverance, and the willingness to face challenges head-on. Elizabeth Helen Godwin's journey through training was a testament to her determination, her strength of character, and her unwavering commitment to serve with honor. It was a journey that tested her limits, revealed her potential, and prepared her to make a lasting impact in the lifeguards and beyond. After completing her training, Elizabeth Helen Godwin stepped into her role as a full officer in the lifeguards with determination and purpose. The years of preparation had not only strengthened her body and mind, but also shaped her character into that of a leader capable of inspiring others. She understood that the real test had just begun. Being part of such a prestigious regiment meant that every action, decision, and interaction carried weight. Her reputation would be built not on words alone, but on the consistency of her actions, the strength of her character, and the ability to lead with courage and empathy. Elizabeth's early assignments involved a mix of ceremonial duties, strategic exercises, and community engagement. The lifeguards are known not only for their operational skills, but also for their role in representing tradition, honor, and the spirit of service. For Elizabeth, each assignment, whether marching in ceremonies, attending official events, or leading smaller units in drills, was an opportunity to demonstrate discipline, precision, and professionalism. She took pride in every task, understanding that excellence in even the smallest responsibilities reflected a commitment to her role and to the values of the regiment. Beyond ceremonial duties, Elizabeth also became involved in operational assignments that tested her tactical abilities and leadership skills. She was responsible for guiding teams through complex exercises, making decisions under pressure, and ensuring the safety and effectiveness of her unit. These assignments required focus, quick thinking, and the ability to inspire confidence in others. Elizabeth approached each challenge with meticulous preparation, understanding that success depended on both her skills and her ability to work with her team. She quickly earned the respect of her colleagues, not just for her competence, but for her fairness, integrity, and willingness to support those under her command. One of the most notable aspects of Elizabeth's career was her approach to leadership. She believed that true leadership was not about authority, but about service. She made it a point to understand the strengths, weaknesses, and needs of her team, ensuring that each member felt valued and supported. She encouraged collaboration, open communication, and mutual respect, fostering an environment where her team could perform at their best. Her ability to lead with empathy and intelligence made her stand out among her peers and superiors alike. Soldiers under her guidance felt confident and motivated, knowing that their leader genuinely cared for their well-being and success. Throughout her career, Elizabeth faced numerous challenges that tested her resilience and decision-making skills. In military service, no day is predictable, and unforeseen circumstances can arise at any moment. She encountered situations that demanded quick thinking, calm judgment, and unwavering resolve. Whether it was navigating difficult operational exercises, resolving conflicts within her team, or managing high-pressure assignments, Elizabeth approached each situation with clarity and focus. She understood that mistakes could provide valuable lessons, and she encouraged her team to learn and grow from every experience. Her ability to remain composed under pressure inspired confidence and respect among those around her. Elizabeth's achievements were recognized through commendations and awards, but what mattered most to her was the impact she made on the people she served with. She valued the growth, morale, and success of her team above personal recognition. Her mentors noticed her dedication and often highlighted her ability to combine strategic thinking with genuine care for her colleagues. She became a role model for younger officers, demonstrating that strength and compassion could coexist, and that leadership was about guiding others, not just issuing orders. Her influence extended beyond her immediate unit, leaving a positive mark on the regiment as a whole. Part of Elizabeth's career involved participating in missions and operations that required teamwork, strategy, and courage. She led her team through various assignments, ensuring that every task was executed with precision and efficiency. These experiences reinforced her belief in preparation, discipline, and collaboration. She learned to anticipate challenges, make critical decisions under pressure, and remain adaptable in unpredictable circumstances. Each mission strengthened her leadership abilities, deepened her understanding of her responsibilities, and reinforced her commitment to service. Elizabeth's calm demeanor, combined with her strategic thinking, made her a reliable and effective leader in every situation. Elizabeth also understood the importance of continuous learning throughout her career. She sought out opportunities to expand her knowledge, refine her skills, and learn from her experiences. She attended workshops, studied tactical strategies, and consulted with senior officers to gain insight into best practices. Her commitment to self-improvement not only enhanced her own abilities, but also served as an example for her team. She encouraged others to embrace growth, take on challenges, and approach their work with curiosity and dedication. Elizabeth believed that true leadership required humility and the willingness to learn, no matter how experienced one became. While Elizabeth's professional life was demanding, she remained deeply connected to her values and the principles that had guided her since childhood. Integrity, honesty, courage, and empathy were the cornerstones of her approach to every assignment. She never compromised on her principles, even in difficult situations. Her colleagues knew that they could trust her to act ethically, support her team, and make decisions that balanced responsibility with compassion. These qualities became the defining aspects of her career and contributed to the respect and admiration she earned throughout the regiment. Elizabeth's influence extended beyond the operational aspects of her career. She became a mentor to younger soldiers, offering guidance, encouragement, and practical advice. She shared her experiences, highlighting both successes and challenges to help others navigate the complexities of military life. Her mentorship emphasized resilience, discipline, and integrity, while also fostering a sense of camaraderie and mutual support. Elizabeth's ability to connect with others, understand their needs, and inspire confidence made her an invaluable leader and role model within the lifeguards. Her career was also marked by moments of reflection and personal growth. Elizabeth understood that service was not just about completing tasks, but about understanding the broader impact of one's actions. She often reflected on the responsibilities of leadership, the sacrifices required, and the ways in which she could contribute to the well-being and success of her team. These reflections helped her maintain perspective, prioritize what truly mattered, and approach every challenge with thoughtfulness and care. They reinforced her belief that leadership and service were intertwined, and that true success came from making a meaningful difference in the lives of others. One of the most rewarding aspects of Elizabeth's career was witnessing the growth and achievements of those she guided. Seeing her team members develop their skills, gain confidence, and succeed in their roles brought her immense satisfaction. She celebrated their accomplishments as if they were her own, understanding that leadership was about creating opportunities for others to shine. Her encouragement, patience, and support created an environment where individuals felt empowered to reach their potential, and her influence left a lasting impact on the lives and careers of those she mentored. Elizabeth's commitment to excellence extended to every area of her work. She approached every task, whether large or small, with the same focus, determination, and attention to detail. She understood that even minor actions could have significant consequences, and she took responsibility for ensuring that her work reflected the highest standards. Her dedication inspired those around her, fostering a culture of professionalism, accountability, and pride within her unit. Colleagues admired her not only for her achievements, but for the consistency and integrity with which she carried out every responsibility. As Elizabeth continued her service, she also became aware of the broader significance of her role. She realized that the lifeguards were more than a regiment. They were a symbol of dedication, tradition, and service. Her actions, decisions, and leadership contributed not only to the success of her team, but also to the legacy of the regiment as a whole. This understanding reinforced her sense of responsibility and motivated her to strive for excellence in every aspect of her career. She embraced the challenges, knowing that her work had a meaningful impact far beyond herself. Throughout her career, Elizabeth Helen Godwin remained grounded in the values that had shaped her from childhood: courage, compassion, integrity, and service. These qualities guided her decisions, defined her interactions, and inspired her leadership. She demonstrated that strength and empathy could coexist, that discipline and care could go hand in hand, and that true leadership was about serving others while maintaining one's principles. Her career was a testament to the power of dedication, perseverance, and the willingness to make a positive difference in the lives of those around her. Elizabeth's professional journey was marked by achievements, challenges, and growth, but perhaps the most important legacy she created was the impact she had on the people she served with. Her leadership, mentorship, and example inspired confidence, trust, and admiration. She showed that courage was not just about physical skill or tactical ability, but about integrity, empathy, and commitment to a purpose greater than oneself. Through her actions, she left an indelible mark on the lifeguards and the lives of those who had the privilege to serve alongside her. Her story during this period reminds us that a meaningful career is built not only on skill and talent, but on character, dedication, and the desire to make a difference. Elizabeth Helen Godwin's achievements and influence within the lifeguards demonstrate how one person, guided by values, determination, and compassion, can inspire, lead, and leave a lasting impact. Her journey illustrates the power of resilience, the importance of ethical leadership, and the enduring value of serving with honor. Even for someone as determined and skilled as Elizabeth Helen Godwin, life in the lifeguards was not without its personal challenges. Beyond the structured training, operational responsibilities, and ceremonial duties, there were moments that tested her emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. These challenges were not always obvious to others, for Elizabeth often carried them quietly within herself, confronting them with the same courage and determination she applied to her professional life. It was during these moments of difficulty that the depth of her character became most apparent, revealing a resilience and inner strength that inspired everyone around her. One of the most persistent challenges Elizabeth faced was the intense pressure of balancing her professional duties with her personal well-being. The lifeguards demanded long hours, rigorous training, and unwavering focus. Every day required careful time management, careful attention to detail, and constant readiness for the unexpected. There were mornings when she had to rise before dawn to attend exercises, days filled with strategic planning, and nights spent reviewing assignments or ensuring her team was prepared. The physical fatigue was challenging, but the mental and emotional strain often proved even more demanding. Elizabeth learned that to succeed, she had to develop a strong sense of discipline not only in her work, but also in caring for herself. Isolation was another challenge she sometimes experienced. Leadership, especially in high-stakes environments, can be a lonely journey. Decisions rested on her shoulders, and she bore the responsibility for the outcomes of her team's actions. While she had a network of colleagues and mentors, there were moments when she felt the weight of expectations and the burden of responsibility deeply. Elizabeth learned to navigate this solitude by cultivating self-awareness, reflection, and inner confidence. She would often spend quiet moments alone, reviewing the day, considering her choices, and reminding herself of her values. These practices strengthened her mental resilience and helped her approach challenges with clarity and composure. Elizabeth also faced emotional challenges connected to witnessing hardship and adversity around her. In her line of duty, she saw situations that tested the human spirit, individuals struggling, teams facing setbacks, and moments of disappointment despite everyone's best efforts. While she could not solve every problem, she took it upon herself to offer support wherever possible, listening patiently, offering guidance, and providing reassurance. She understood that true leadership was not just about completing tasks, but about caring for the people entrusted to her, and this empathy often required emotional strength and patience. Balancing compassion with the need for discipline and efficiency was a continuous learning process, but Elizabeth handled it with remarkable grace. Another challenge Elizabeth encountered was the need to confront fear and uncertainty. Even the most experienced officers face situations where the outcome is unpredictable, where risk must be calculated, and where decisions carry significant consequences. Elizabeth learned early in her career that courage was not the absence of fear, but the ability to act decisively despite it. There were times when she felt anxious or unsure, yet she never allowed doubt to compromise her judgment or her responsibility to her team. She developed strategies to maintain focus under pressure, including careful planning, consultation with mentors, and trusting in the preparation and capability of herself and her colleagues. Her ability to navigate uncertainty inspired confidence in others and reinforced the trust placed in her as a leader. Balancing her personal life with the demands of military service was another area of challenge for Elizabeth. Like many service members, she had to make sacrifices in her personal relationships, social activities, and leisure time. Family gatherings, friendships, and simple personal pleasures were sometimes postponed or missed entirely due to duty. While these sacrifices were accepted willingly, they were not without moments of emotional strain. Elizabeth coped by nurturing meaningful connections whenever possible, maintaining correspondence with family and friends, and finding solace in the knowledge that her service was part of a greater purpose. She learned to appreciate small moments of joy and connection, understanding that they replenished her spirit and strengthened her resilience. Despite these challenges, Elizabeth consistently demonstrated remarkable adaptability and determination. She understood that obstacles were an inherent part of life and service, and she approached them not as burdens but as opportunities for growth. Physical challenges were met with preparation and persistence, emotional struggles with reflection and support, and leadership dilemmas with thoughtfulness and integrity. Over time, she developed a sense of calm confidence that allowed her to face even the most difficult situations with clarity and composure. Her resilience became a model for her colleagues, showing that strength is built not only through success, but also through the manner in which one responds to hardship. Elizabeth's personal challenges also included moments of self-doubt, a natural human experience even for the most capable individuals. There were times when she questioned her decisions, her ability to lead, or her readiness to meet the demands of her role. Rather than allowing these doubts to weaken her, she used them as a source of reflection and self-improvement. She sought advice from trusted mentors, revisited her training and knowledge, and focused on continuous learning. These practices reinforced her confidence, ensuring that she could act decisively and ethically, even in difficult circumstances. Her self-awareness and humility became key aspects of her strength, as she combined confidence with a commitment to personal growth. Elizabeth also encountered moments of loss and grief during her service. While she worked in an environment of discipline and professionalism, she was not immune to the emotional impact of the challenges faced by those around her. She witnessed colleagues struggling with setbacks, endured the departure of teammates, and navigated difficult operational outcomes. These experiences, though emotionally taxing, deepened her empathy and strengthened her resolve to provide support and guidance whenever possible. She recognized that true leadership involved more than strategy and skill. It required humanity, understanding, and the ability to help others find strength in the face of adversity. Throughout these challenges, Elizabeth relied heavily on her inner values and principles. Integrity, courage, empathy, and dedication were not abstract ideas. They were practical tools she used to navigate difficulty. Whenever she faced a tough decision, she would reflect on these guiding principles, ensuring that her actions aligned with both her moral compass and her responsibility to her team. This consistency provided her with stability, confidence, and direction, even when external circumstances were uncertain or demanding. Her adherence to these values reinforced her credibility as a leader and her ability to inspire trust and respect in others. One of Elizabeth's greatest sources of strength came from her ability to find meaning in her challenges. She reframed obstacles not as setbacks but as opportunities to grow stronger, to learn more, and to support others more effectively. Every difficult situation became a lesson in resilience, problem-solving, and leadership. She maintained a mindset of positivity and perseverance, reminding herself that enduring hardship with grace and determination was itself a form of achievement. This perspective allowed her to approach challenges with optimism and courage, modeling the qualities she wished to cultivate in her team. Elizabeth's personal growth during these challenging times was remarkable. She developed resilience, emotional intelligence, and adaptability that would define her career and character. Her ability to face difficulty without losing her composure, to maintain empathy while enforcing discipline, and to balance personal sacrifice with a sense of purpose demonstrated extraordinary inner strength. She became someone others looked to for guidance, reassurance, and inspiration, not because of rank or authority alone, but because of the unwavering courage and integrity she displayed in every circumstance. Through all of this, Elizabeth maintained her sense of hope and optimism. She celebrated small victories, recognized the progress of her team, and acknowledged her own growth. She understood that challenges were temporary, and that perseverance, preparation, and integrity would always lead to meaningful outcomes. Her ability to maintain this perspective made her a steady presence in the Life Guards, someone her colleagues could rely on for both guidance and support. Elizabeth's experiences in facing personal challenges also reinforced her commitment to mentorship and leadership. She became increasingly aware of the emotional and psychological demands of military service and made it a priority to support those under her guidance. She offered advice, encouragement, and practical strategies to help her team navigate their own difficulties. Her approach emphasized empathy, understanding, and resilience, showing that leadership was not just about direction, but about nurturing strength, confidence, and well-being in others. Looking back on these challenges, it is clear that Elizabeth Helen Godwin's inner strength was as vital as her professional skill. The personal obstacles she faced, emotional strain, isolation, fear, self-doubt, and sacrifice, were met with courage, reflection, and perseverance. These experiences shaped her into a well-rounded, compassionate, and resilient leader. They revealed the depth of her character, the steadiness of her values, and the enduring power of her determination. Elizabeth demonstrated that true strength is not simply the ability to endure challenges, but the ability to grow through them, support others along the way, and maintain integrity in the face of adversity. Her journey through personal challenges reminds us that leadership and courage are forged not only in moments of visible achievement, but also in the quiet struggles of the heart and mind. Elizabeth Helen Godwin's life in these years exemplifies how inner strength, guided by values and purpose, can transform difficulties into opportunities for growth, service, and inspiration. She showed that resilience, empathy, and determination are the qualities that leave a lasting impact, not just in professional achievement, but in the lives and hearts of those we serve and lead. As Elizabeth Helen Godwin's career in the Life Guards came to its later stages, it became clear to everyone who knew her that her life was defined by service, integrity, and an unwavering commitment to excellence. Her influence extended far beyond the tasks she completed or the missions she led. She had touched the lives of colleagues, peers, and those she mentored in ways that would endure long after she had completed her duties. The respect and admiration she earned were not based merely on rank or authority, but on the authenticity of her character, the consistency of her actions, and the inspiration she provided through both her professional accomplishments and her personal example. One of the most profound aspects of Elizabeth's legacy was her ability to inspire those around her. Her colleagues often spoke of her calm composure in stressful situations, her ability to make fair and thoughtful decisions, and her readiness to support others without hesitation. She demonstrated that true leadership involves patience, empathy, and the courage to do what is right, even when it is difficult. Soldiers under her command learned not just from her instructions, but from observing the way she carried herself in every moment, always with dignity, compassion, and purpose. Her example encouraged others to develop similar qualities, creating a ripple effect that strengthened the entire regiment. Elizabeth's influence also extended to mentoring and developing the next generation of leaders. She invested time in guiding younger officers, offering them practical advice, encouragement, and insight from her own experiences. She emphasized the importance of integrity, perseverance, and empathy, helping them navigate the challenges of military life with confidence and resilience. Her mentorship was not limited to professional skill. It included lessons about character, responsibility, and the balance between duty and humanity. Those who had the privilege of learning from Elizabeth often spoke of her as a source of inspiration, someone who helped them become not only better officers, but better individuals. Beyond her professional life, Elizabeth left a lasting impression through the way she treated people with respect and kindness. She understood that leadership was not only about achieving goals, but also about nurturing relationships and valuing each person's contributions. She celebrated the achievements of others, offered support during setbacks, and ensured that every individual felt seen and appreciated. This personal touch created a sense of loyalty and camaraderie among her colleagues and friends, further reinforcing the positive environment she cultivated throughout her career. Her ability to connect with others and foster trust became one of her most enduring legacies. Elizabeth's legacy was also reflected in her accomplishments and contributions to the Life Guards. She completed missions with skill and dedication, led teams through complex operations, and upheld the highest standards of professionalism. Her strategic thinking, decisiveness, and ability to manage challenges inspired confidence in both her superiors and her team. Yet, despite these accomplishments, Elizabeth remained humble, often attributing her success to teamwork and the support of those around her. She demonstrated that leadership is not about personal glory, but about serving others and creating opportunities for collective success. Even after her active duties ended, Elizabeth's impact continued to be felt. Her colleagues often recalled the lessons she taught, the guidance she provided, and the example she set. Stories of her calm leadership during challenging situations, her thoughtful mentorship, and her unwavering commitment to values became part of the regiment's history. Her legacy was woven into the culture of the Life Guards, inspiring future officers to approach their roles with the same integrity, courage, and compassion that Elizabeth had exemplified throughout her life. Elizabeth's life also serves as a reminder of the importance of service beyond oneself. She demonstrated that true fulfillment comes from contributing to something greater than personal ambition. Every decision she made, every mission she led, and every person she mentored was guided by a sense of responsibility, purpose, and a desire to make a positive difference. Her actions illustrated that a meaningful life is built not only on achievements, but on the values one upholds, the people one supports, and the inspiration one provides to others. Her legacy extended beyond her immediate circle, reaching communities and individuals who benefited indirectly from her dedication. Her involvement in community outreach, ceremonial events, and public service initiatives highlighted her commitment to connecting with and supporting society at large. She represented the lifeguards with honor and integrity, serving as a role model for young people aspiring to contribute positively to their communities. Through these actions, Elizabeth demonstrated that leadership and service are not confined to the workplace. They extend into the broader world and can leave a lasting impact on society as a whole. One of the most remarkable aspects of Elizabeth's legacy is the way she balanced excellence with empathy. She proved that strength does not mean a lack of compassion, and that true courage often involves understanding, patience, and kindness. Her ability to guide others, provide support during difficult times, and maintain high standards while remaining approachable and human became a defining characteristic of her leadership style. This balance made her an effective leader and a beloved colleague, someone whose influence went far beyond the tangible achievements of her career. Elizabeth's story also reminds us that legacy is not only about what one accomplishes, but how one lives and the values one leaves behind. She exemplified principles such as integrity, resilience, and service, showing that these qualities have the power to inspire and guide others long after one's own journey has ended. Her life demonstrated that consistent actions aligned with strong values create a lasting impression, shaping not only the lives of those immediately around us, but also influencing the culture and spirit of the communities and organizations we serve. Her passing was met with profound respect and sorrow from those who knew her. Colleagues, mentors, and those she had guided all expressed admiration for her life of service and dedication. Tributes emphasized her courage, compassion, and unwavering integrity, highlighting the countless ways in which she had made a difference. These tributes reflected not only the achievements of her career, but also the human qualities that made Elizabeth Helen Godwin extraordinary. Her ability to inspire, support, and lead with both strength and heart. Elizabeth's legacy continues to live on in the memories of her colleagues, the lives she touched, and the standards she set. Her story is shared not as a tale of perfection, but as an example of dedication, resilience, and the power of living according to one's values. Future officers in the lifeguards learned from her example, drawing inspiration from the way she approached challenges, guided others, and embodied the principles of service, courage, and integrity. Her life is a testament to the enduring impact that one individual can have when they commit fully to their purpose and lead with both skill and compassion. The lessons from Elizabeth's life extend beyond the military context. They serve as inspiration for anyone seeking to make a positive difference in their own lives or communities. Her story teaches that leadership is not about titles or recognition, but about responsibility, ethical action, and support for others. It shows that resilience is built through challenges, that courage is demonstrated through consistent action, and that meaningful contribution comes from aligning one's life with values of integrity and service. These lessons make her story timeless and universally relevant. Elizabeth Helen Godwin's life reminds us that true success is measured not only by accomplishments, but by the legacy we leave behind. She demonstrated that a life guided by purpose, strengthened by discipline, and enriched with compassion can inspire countless others. The respect, admiration, and love she earned from those who knew her are a reflection of the positive impact she had on their lives. Her story is a shining example of how dedication, integrity, and empathy can create a lasting influence that extends far beyond one's immediate circle. Even today, her memory continues to inspire. Those who served with her often recount stories of her courage, thoughtfulness, and leadership, passing these lessons on to the next generation. Young officers entering the lifeguards hear of Elizabeth Helen Godwin not only as a capable officer, but as a model of the values and principles that define true service. Her life encourages others to strive for excellence, to lead with heart, and to dedicate themselves to causes greater than themselves. Elizabeth's legacy is not confined to history or memory. It lives on through the actions of those she influenced. The soldiers, officers, and colleagues who learned from her example carry forward her principles of integrity, empathy, and resilience in their own work. Her mentorship, guidance, and inspiration continue to shape decisions, leadership styles, and the culture within the regiment. Through this ongoing influence, Elizabeth Helen Godwin's impact remains vibrant and meaningful, touching countless lives even after her time. Ultimately, Elizabeth's story is a testament to the enduring power of a life lived with purpose, courage, and integrity. Her contributions to the Life Guards, her mentorship of future leaders, and the positive influence she had on everyone around her ensure that she will not be forgotten. She exemplifies the idea that legacy is built through consistent action, dedication to values, and the ability to inspire and uplift others. Her life serves as a reminder that we each have the potential to make a lasting difference, leaving behind a world that is better, stronger, and more compassionate than we found it. Her story concludes not as an end, but as a continuing inspiration. Elizabeth Helen Godwin's life, shaped by service, leadership, and unwavering dedication to her principles, continues to guide, motivate, and remind us of the power of courage, empathy, and purpose. Through her example, the values she lived by, and the lives she touched, her legacy endures, ensuring that her name and her contributions will never be forgotten.